Let's get into it. 8. The quick checking her out glance. It's not the long, obvious stare most guys default to. It's a fleeting, unforced glance, like you got caught in the moment. This kind of look does two things. First, it signals interest without you having to say a word. Second, it leaves room for her imagination to run wild. Was that intentional? Did he mean for me to notice? This little bit of ambiguity works in your favor. It's subtle, and that's exactly why it works. It makes her feel seen and desired without the interaction becoming awkward or overbearing. And when someone feels genuinely desired, even in passing, it gives them a hit of validation they won't forget. That little emotional spike is what makes this so powerful. It's not about staring her down or playing games. It's about a quick, natural look that says more than words could.
7. Playful name dropping. Using her name casually in conversation is one of the simplest yet most addictive moves you can make. There's a reason for it. Hearing your own name activates unique neural pathways in the brain. It sparks a little hit of dopamine, a reward response. When you use her name naturally without making it sound forced, you create a subtle intimacy that pulls her closer. Think about the difference between "that's funny" and "that's funny, Sarah." One feels generic, the other feels like you are speaking directly to her. This is why name dropping, done sparingly, works. It personalizes the moment and makes her feel singled out in the best way. Over time, these tiny injections of intimacy stack up. They make conversations feel warmer and more personal, even if you've just met. And that's how simple name use can become strangely addictive. 6. The deliberate pause before you speak. Most people rush to fill silence. They speak quickly, cut themselves off, or ramble, just to keep the conversation moving. You don't. You pause, even for a beat or two. This small, deliberate move changes the entire tone of the interaction. Suddenly, your words feel weightier. Your presence feels more grounded. When you take your time before speaking, you signal that you're thoughtful, composed, and confident enough to let silence hang. This creates anticipation. It makes her lean in, literally and emotionally, waiting for what you'll say next. And it flips the usual dynamic. Instead of chasing her reaction, you let her come to you. It's an easy adjustment, but it transforms you from just another guy talking fast to keep her attention into someone who feels in control. That quiet composure is rare, and rare is addictive. 5. Light, contextual touch. Touch is one of the most underestimated tools for creating connection, but it only works when it's done with subtlety. This isn't about grabbing or holding on. It's about those natural, context-appropriate touches. Lightly guiding her through a doorway with your hand on her back, grazing her forearm during a laugh, or briefly touching her shoulder when emphasizing a point. These small gestures are powerful because they feel unplanned and unforced. They communicate ease and familiarity. On a biological level, even a brief touch can release oxytocin, the hormone tied to trust and bonding. When done sparingly and appropriately, these moments create warmth without pressure. They make interactions feel more personal, and they often linger in her mind long after the moment has passed. It's not about the touch itself, it's about how natural and grounded it feels. That's what makes it addictive. 4. The unbothered laugh. There's something magnetic about someone who can genuinely laugh, especially at themselves. An unbothered laugh isn't loud or performative. It's natural, easy, and a little self-deprecating when needed. When you laugh at yourself or the situation, it communicates emotional freedom. You're not rigid. You're not defensive. You can take life as it comes. This is attractive because it puts people at ease. In psychology, this is known as emotional regulation, the ability to stay centered regardless of the environment. And for her, that's addictive. It turns tense moments into playful ones. It makes conversations lighter, and more than that, it makes her associate you with that feeling of relief. When you can create that sense of ease without trying too hard, it sets you apart. She'll find herself wanting to be around that energy again and again. 3. The lean back during conversation. Posture speaks louder than words, and this one says everything. When she's talking, you don't crowd her. You don't lean in aggressively.
You ease back, shoulders relaxed, breathing steady. This does two things. First, it shows that you're comfortable. You're not trying to chase the interaction or fill the space. Second, it creates an unspoken push-pull dynamic. By leaning back, you're giving her the space to come towards you, physically or conversationally. This is one of the simplest ways to project confidence without saying a word. It signals that you're fully present but not desperate for her validation. And here's the kicker. It makes her lean in, both literally and emotionally. That subtle shift, it changes how she experiences you. Suddenly, she's chasing a connection you're calmly holding back. That tension, that's where the addiction starts. 2. Sharing a throwaway personal detail. This one's deceptively simple, but it builds intimacy faster than most men realize. It's not a big confession or a dramatic reveal. It's a small casual detail about yourself, shared like it's nothing. My brother says I always overdo it on the hot sauce. I've been listening to the same morning playlist for years. I can't start the day without it. These little details do two things. First, they make you human. They give her something real to hold on to beyond surface-level conversation. Second, they create the sense that she's seeing a side of you that's not on display for everyone else. That perceived exclusivity, it makes the interaction feel personal. And that personal connection can quietly grow into emotional investment, the kind that sticks with her long after you've gone. 1. Exiting while the energy is high. Most men linger. They stay until the conversation fizzles out, until the moment feels over. You don't. You leave when the energy is at its peak, when she's laughing, engaged, and feeling good. This is more than just good timing. It taps into a psychological quirk called the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains fixate on unfinished moments. By leaving at the high point, you create an open loop in her mind. She's left replaying the interaction, wanting to close that loop. It also signals composure. You're not trying to squeeze every last second out of the moment. You know when to walk away, which only makes her want the next interaction even more. This is how you go from being just another guy she talked to the one she can't stop thinking about. And if you're still here, I'll give you one more. A bonus most men completely overlook, but it's one of the fastest ways to make her crave being around you. The follow-up callback. It sounds almost too simple, but it works. The callback is when you reference something small from an earlier conversation, a joke, a story, even a throwaway comment. Careful, don't spill your coffee like last time, or I hope you survived that Monday meeting. Why is this so addictive? Because it tells her you were actually paying attention. It makes her feel remembered, seen, and significant. It transforms your interactions from random moments into an ongoing connection, and it plants the seed that you're someone who doesn't just hear her, you notice her. This kind of emotional continuity builds investment fast. She'll find herself looking forward to the next time you talk, just to see what you'll pick up on next. Which of these do you think you already do without realizing? Drop it in the comments. I read them all, and I'm curious which ones you've caught yourself doing. If you got value from this, hit like, subscribe, and watch out for the next video I made for you. Until next time, pay attention, make your move, and own the moment.